Welcome student. In this class I will discuss about atmospheric circulation. Earth is surrounded from all the sides by mechanical mixture of gas known as air. Getting well now? The atmosphere is defined as the mechanical mixture of gas, and mechanical mixture of gas is referred to as air. On the basis of the dynamism of the air, there are two types. It is divided into two parts. One is if there is vertical mobility of the air, it is referred to as air current, and if there occur horizontal mobility of the air, then only it is referred to as wind. There are two types of air current, that is vertical in context of vertical mobility. One is ascending column of air current, and second is descending column of air current. Okay. On the other hand, wind, there are three categories of wind. First category is referred to as primary circulation, then secondary circulation, and then tertiary circulation. Those wind which blow in a fixed direction throughout the year, that is, they never change their direction in a year throughout the year, are referred to as primary circulation. The example of primary circulation is trade wind, westerly wind, and polar easterly wind. Primary circulation is also referred to as macro level wind or planetary wind. Getting well now? Again, the wind which changes direction at least once in a year is referred to as secondary circulation. Example of secondary circulation are air mass, front, cyclone, anticyclone. Monsoon is also included now included as under the example of secondary circulation. Okay, previously it was considered as the type of the local wind, but later when research was conducted and its relation with the jet stream was revealed, then climatologists put it in the category of secondary circulation. Okay, so secondary circulation is the example of meso level wind. Getting well now? And tertiary circulation is micro level wind. The tertiary circulation is due to extremely local condition. That's why it is also referred to as local wind, like Chinook, like Mistral, like Phone, like Tehuantepec, okay, Bora. They are the example of tertiary circulation, and tertiary circulation is the micro level wind. So today I will discuss about secondary circulation. Okay. So among secondary circulation, the most important wind is air mass. Most important example is the air mass. Okay. Air mass. Very important topics. Air mass. Okay. Air mass. You see, the concept of air mass evolved after Second World War. Okay. What happened, you see, conventionally, there were certain important centers for collection of weather-related data, like America, like Germany, okay, like Australia, and these countries were transmitting the data to other countries, and other countries, after receiving this data and computing with the local condition, we are conducting forecasting of the weather. Okay. But during Second World War, this transmission of air with data got interrupted now, and it posed a problem for several countries to conduct weather forecasting. So climatologists tried to evolve yet another criteria on the basis of which weather forecasting can be done, and in this context the concept of air mass evolved. Okay, on the basis of the nature of air mass, you can predict the weather condition or climatic condition or atmospheric condition of this area. Getting well now? As the name suggests, air mass means extensive mass of air. Getting well now? Actually, you see, if extensive mass of air, right, normally not less than the area over 16,000 square kilometer of the land, okay, land or the ocean. If any air come in contact with the surface for a long time, okay, then it interact with the surface, and the surface also interact with the air, right? After long time interaction, this air adopt a specific character, and what is the specific character? That the wind develop horizontal uniformity in context of temperature, pressure and humidity. Getting well now? Suppose at this horizontal level, if the temperature is 5 degree, 10 degree, so 10 degree Celsius temperature is also recorded here, and 10 degree Celsius temperature is also recorded here. If at this height temperature is 5 degree, so 5 degree is also recorded here, 5 degree is also recorded here, and 5 degree is also recorded here. So if particularly extensive mass of air holds horizontal uniformity in context of temperature and pressure and humidity, then only it is referred to as air mass. Getting well now? What is the basic concept of air mass now? It is extensive mass of air, okay, and this character it adopt only when it will interact with the surface, right? Surface may be continent or may be ocean. Getting well now? But it is the product of long-term interaction between the surface. Getting well? So as far as the question of the condition favorable for the origin of air mass is, the area should be, first condition is, the area should be homogeneous in character. Okay? Means it should be either entirely continental in character or it should be entirely oceanic in character. मतलब at least 6,000 square kilometer of the land should be either totally continental or should be totally oceanic in character. It is clear, na? But partially continental and partially oceanic surface is not favorable for the air mass formation. This condition is favorable or this condition is favorable. So what is the first condition? The area should be homogeneous in character. Getting well? Second aspect, the velocity of the wind will be very low, right? If the velocity of the wind will be very low, then only it will have long-term interaction with the surface. Na? Getting well? Third condition for origin and development of the air mass is the sky should be fair, there should not be cloudiness. Okay? Next factor is, you see, anticyclonic conditions should prevail. Okay? Anticyclonic condition impart stability to the atmosphere. Okay? And in anticyclonic condition, there occur subsidence and divergence of the air slowly. In this case, the air remain contact with the surface for a long time. Okay? On the other hand, if particularly cyclone exists, then in case of cyclone is defined as the convergence and upward upliftment of the air. Now, so this condition is not favorable for origin and development of the air mass. But you see, this is anticyclone, subsidence and divergence of the wind. Okay? This is favorable for origin and development of the air mass. Getting well now? So actually, air mass form if the surface is homogeneous in character, if velocity of the wind is very low, if the sky is fair, okay, cloudless sky should be there, if anticyclonic condition should be there, or atmosphere, there should be no effective atmospheric turbulence. Okay, calm atmospheric condition is ideal for origin and development of the air mass. Getting well now? And the area where air mass originate is referred to as source region. Okay, right, source region. And the area after it originates, suppose in this area air mass originated, and then after this is area na, and then after it migrates in some other area, suppose it affects particularly this continental part B na, so A is referred to as source region and B is referred to as destination region. It is clear na? So there are two particular terms. One is source region and second is particularly destination region. When air mass migrates from the source region to the destination region, it modifies the atmospheric condition or climatic condition of the destination region and gradually itself get modified. Okay, actually there are two type of modification in the air mass. One is thermal modification and second is thermodynamic modification. It is clear na? If air mass is, you see, there are four characters of air. Okay, one is if wind is cold plus dry, if wind is cold plus moist, if wind is cold, warm plus dry, and if wind is warm plus moist, right? There are four category of air mass broadly, right? With respect to temperature and humidity content. Getting well now? First is if air mass is cold and dry, the area where if air mass is cold and dry, so whenever it will come in the destination region, it will create cold wave. Getting well now? But if the air mass is cold and moist, it will cause a snowfall in the region, in the destination region. Okay? But if air mass is cold and dry, it will cause desert-like feature, desertification there. But if the air mass is warm and moist, then it will cause heavy rainfall. You can say, you can compare monsoon with that of warm and moist air mass. It is clear now? That's why when monsoon advent inside India, it causes heavy rainfall, and during with the period during which it influences the Indian climatic condition for 4 months, right from June to September. Now, India gets 74% of the total annual precipitation. Okay, so how particularly air mass affect the area? It is clear now. On the basis of particularly nature, there are four category of air mass, right? Some area is dry. Suppose you see, right? Cold plus dry will cause cold desertification. You see the northern part of North America. Okay, northern part of Siberia is cold desert now. Certainly it will be under the impact of the cold plus dry, right? But if the area comes under the impact of cold and moist, then a snowfall will be recorded. Okay, Mistral, a specific example. Okay, again see particularly if the area with the air mass will be warm plus dry, it will cause desertification, warm desertification. Okay, and actually it means in Sahara desert, right? In Thar desert, the general characteristic of air mass is expected to be warm plus dry. It is clear now? But in Siberia, it is under the influence of the cold plus dry air mass, because that's why Siberian desert exists there. It is example of cold desert. Getting well now? Right? And if air mass is warm plus moist, it is capable to cause effective rainfall if other favorable conditions are available there. It is clear now? So what is air mass? It is clear. Air mass is extensive mass of air having horizontal uniformity in context of temperature, pressure and humidity. Getting well now? Right? And for this origin, there are four important ideal conditions. First is the area should be homogeneous in character. Second is the fear should be, the sky should be clear. Third is anticyclonic conditions should prevail there, right? There should be least atmospheric turbulence, and cyclonic conditions should not prevail there. It is clear now, right? And the velocity of the air should be very low. In this case, air mass develop, and the area where air mass develop is referred to as source region, and the area where it advent or particularly affect or go is referred to as destination region. As far as the question of source region is concerned, again there are two type of source region. One is primary source region and second is secondary source region. You see, I am giving the example. Okay, this is African subcontinent and this is Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean Sea. It is clear? The air mass which is developed here is warm plus moist air mass. It causes rainfall in this area, right? Under this impact, the rainfall throughout the year is recorded there. It is clear na? This is referred to Western European type of climatic condition. Okay? In Western European type of climatic condition, actually you see in equatorial region, right, through rainfall is recorded throughout the year. Okay? In Mediterranean type of climatic condition, 90% of the rainfall occur during winter season. In China type of climatic condition, most of the rainfall occur during summer season. And in British or European type of climate, right, rainfall occur throughout the year. Getting well now? So actually, suppose this air mass is affecting this part, Spain, France, etc., right? And hence it will lose its character. Now I said that when air mass will migrate from source region to destination region, it will affect the weather condition of the destination region, but gradually itself will be modified. Okay, but again you see, right after crossing this continent, when it will reach in the Mediterranean Sea, again it will adopt the same character. So for this air mass, this is primary source region, and this becomes the secondary source region, and further it will migrate in this direction. Getting well now? So actually, what is source region, it is clear, and what is destination region, it is clear now. What type of impact it has, it is clear now. Okay, depending on the temperature and humidity content of the air. Getting well now? So in context of origin of the air mass, you see, we divide the entire earth. देखिए actually effective contrasting temperature should be there. Getting well now? So that's why with respect to the air mass, we divide the entire earth into two parts. One is higher lower latitudinal zone, and second is higher latitudinal zone. It is clear ना? But one is, देखिए, in temperate zone concept is not included there, to be noted, right? In studying air mass, we either take this region as an ideal geometry surface formation A, or this is B. Getting well now? This is B region. If the air mass originate in lower latitudinal zone or tropical zone, it is referred to as tropical air mass, tropical air mass, and is denoted by T. Getting well now? And if air mass originate in the polar zone, it is referred to as polar air mass and is denoted by capital P. Getting well? If you will find P or T, it is clear कि capital T identity revealed that it is the air mass which originated in the tropical zone, right? Capital P indicate that the air mass originated in the polar zone. Getting well now? In tropical zone, suppose in tropical zone, if this is continental area and this is continental area and this is aquatic area na, so if air mass originate in the continental area, over the continental area, it is referred to as continental, right, air mass na. Getting well now? Right, continental air mass. But if it originate in the oceanic zone, it is referred to as maritime air mass. Maritime. For ocean, it is referred to as maritime na. So you see first कि actually in tropical zone we have continental region and we have oceanic region. If air mass originate from the oceanic continental region, it is referred to as continental. And you see, since this continent is located in tropical zone, so that's why it is referred to as continental tropical air mass. For continental, a small c is used, and for maritime, a small m is used. It is clear now? So in this context, this air mass will be the air mass which originate over the continental zone. Over the continental zone, right? Continental zone is referred to as CT. CT means continental tropical. And if the air mass originate here in oceanic region, it is referred to as MT. Right? What is CT? What is MT? It is clear now? Actually, you see the first term C represent the nature of the surface, and second term indicate the thermal zone, that is whether in the tropical zone or whether in the polar zone. Getting well now? Similarly, if there is a continental area here, then air mass produced here is referred to as continental polar air mass CP. Okay? But if there exists water here, ocean, then air mass which is produced here is referred to as MP. Getting well now? Right? So what is CT and what is MT? It is clear. M stands for maritime and P stands for polar zone. Okay? So you see, when on this basis one can say that actually on the basis of thermal zone, okay, thermal zone, we have two type thermal zone. We have two type of air mass. One is tropical air mass, and second is polar air mass. Getting well now? Right? This is on the basis of zoning, that is whether it is formed in tropical zone, whether the source region is in the tropical zone or source region is in the polar zone. Getting well now? Again, on the basis of nature of surface, surface, there are two type of air mass. If it originates over the continental area, it is referred to as continental air mass and is indicated by a small c, right? And if it originates in the oceanic zone, it is referred to as maritime air mass and it is indicated by a small m. Okay? In context of in tropical region, capital T, and in polar zone, capital P. Getting well now? Again, you see, on the basis of temperature, okay? On the basis of temperature, we actually, it is relative term. Temperature is measured with respect to the nature of the temperature of the area through which it is blowing. It is clear now, right? Suppose you see, if this is one place and this is another place, right? Its temperature is 5 degree and its temperature is 15 degree, and air mass is blowing here and its average temperature is 10 degree. Getting well now? So here it will be referred to as warm air mass, but here it will be referred to as cold air mass. It is clear now? So it is relative term. Getting well now? Similar to that of oceanic current. Okay? Right? So on this basis, there are two type of air mass. On the thermal basis, there are two type of air mass. One is warm air mass indicated by capital W, and second is cold air mass, right, represented by capital K. K means cold, K-A-L-T, cold means cold. Getting well now? Right, we not use the term C in order to avoid the confusion, because we already use C for continental region. It is clear now? So on the basis of zone, we have two type of air mass, tropical and polar. On the basis of the nature of surface, there are two type of air mass. One is continental and second is maritime. On the basis of temperature, we have two type of air mass. One is cold air mass and second is warm air mass. Warm air mass is indicated by capital W and cold air mass is indicated by capital K. K stands for cold. Cold also means cold. Getting well now? Right? Again, on the basis of atmospheric stability. Atmospheric stability means कि whether it causes rainfall or not. Okay? देखिए, if what is the basic difference between a stable atmospheric condition and unstable? If rainfall occurs, then it is referred to as unstable atmospheric condition. If rainfall not occurs, then it is referred to as stable atmospheric condition. It is clear now, right? In equatorial zone, the atmospheric condition is of unstable character because every day there is rainfall, convectional precipitation. It is clear now, right? But there exists atmospheric stability in the desert area, Thar Desert, Taklamakan Desert, because rainfall not occur. Getting well now? So if the air mass causes rainfall or not causes rainfall, on the basis of atmospheric stability, there are two type of air mass. One is unstable air mass, indicated by a small u, okay, and second is stable air mass indicated by a small s. It is clear now? If you will find u, then unstable. If you will find s, means stable, right? If any area is under the impact of unstable air mass, it is expected to get rainfall. But if any area is under the impact of the stable air mass, it is not expected to get rainfall. Getting well now? So on this basis, you can classify the air mass. It is almost clear now? So actually, globally, we can classify the air mass in this way. The first is air mass is of two types. Air mass, one is tropical air mass. Tropical air mass indicated by T, and second is polar air mass. polar air mass indicated by capital P. Getting well? If tropical air mass originate over continental area, it is indicated by CT, right? And if it originates over the oceanic area, it is indicated by MT, right? Similarly, if in polar zone over the continental area, it will be CP, continental polar, and if over the oceanic area, it is maritime polar air mass, it is clear now, right? Again, you see, it may be every air mass can be, है ना, can be either cold or warm ना. So actually there are two type of CT, that is continental tropical cold and continental tropical warm. Getting well? Again, maritime tropical cold and maritime tropical warm. Getting well? Similarly, continental polar cold and continental polar warm. Getting well? And this is maritime polar cold and maritime polar warm. Getting well now? If you will find CPK, means continental polar cold air mass. If you will find MTK, maritime tropical cold. Getting well now? Again, you see air mass can be stable and unstable depending on the prevailing condition of this area na. So again, this air mass is divided into two types. First is CTKU and second is CTKS, continental tropical cold unstable air mass, and this is continental tropical cold stable air mass. Again, you see we have CTWU and CTWS, means continental tropical warm unstable air mass. Unstable means will cause rainfall, and this is continental tropical warm stable, means it will not cause rainfall. Getting well now? Again, we have two type of MTK, maritime tropical cold unstable and maritime tropical cold stable. Okay. Similarly, we have two type of MTW. One is maritime tropical warm stable and maritime tropical warm unstable. Getting well? So in totality, you see we have 8 type of air mass existing in the tropical zone. First is CTKU, that is continental tropical cold unstable air mass. Second is continental tropical cold stable air mass. Then continental tropical warm unstable air mass. Then continental tropical warm stable air mass. Then maritime tropical cold unstable air mass. Then maritime tropical cold stable air mass. Again maritime tropical warm stable and maritime tropical warm unstable air mass. Getting well now? Similarly, in the here we will have the similar classification now, right? We will have the similar classification, that is, you see CPK, this is of two type, CPKU, CPKS, continental polar cold unstable air mass. Second is continental polar cold stable air mass. Again, you see continental polar warm unstable air mass and continental polar warm stable air mass. Okay, this is second category. Again, you see maritime polar cold stable unstable and maritime polar cold stable air mass. Getting well now? And lastly, there is a maritime polar warm unstable and maritime polar warm stable air mass. So there also exist 8 type of air mass in polar region. Okay, so 8 type of air mass exist in the tropical zone, 8 type of air mass exist in the polar zone, and hence there exists 16 type of air mass on the earth surface. It is clear, na? Having different character. Getting well? what is air mass, it is clear na? And you see air mass is always represented on the through the combination of 4 letters. Getting well? The first letter you see, I am citing example. You suppose it is C T W S. Okay? This order will be maintained. The first letter indicate the nature of surface. Nature of surface. Okay? Second term letter indicate the zone, whether polar zone or tropical zone. Third term represent the temperature, and fourth term represent the atmospheric condition. Atmospheric condition. Getting well now? Actually, you see CTWS is given there. You see what will be the name of WCTS? Okay, this will be wrong, because according to convention this is the pattern. Okay, right? So first letters must represent the nature of the surface. Second term should represent the zone, that is whether it is polar zone or tropical zone. Third letter represent the thermal condition of the air mass, and fourth term represent the atmospheric condition. Getting well now? So hence air mass is represented on the basis of the combination of 4 letters. Okay, whether it is MPKU or MPKS, it makes no difference. The ordering will be should be the proper. Okay, so and hence when the concept of air mass evolved, now we were in the position to analyze or conduct prediction of the weather or atmospheric condition on the basis of the incoming air mass. Best of luck. Okay.